Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mars coming at you over the interwaves with a StarCraft 2 cast. As a matter of fact, I suppose you could call this an application. Dreamhack, if you're listening. If you're old casters, they're getting a bit old. You've used them before. You want something new? Hit me up. Anyway, over on the southeast side of Frost Ladder Edition, we have Puck. It says Puck, but I put here Puck. That's what Spawning Tool said. I know Puck played in this tournament. Don't know of a Puck that did. But then again, only last week did I cast something that was marked Scarlet, and that turned out to be wrong. Anyway, over on this side we have Stephano. Let's look at this side because that's his better side. Oh, what do you think? This side? This side? I don't know. Profile. So Stephano, starting with a little bit of, well, oh, and we even have whoever this is joining in. I won't stop thinking about you. Oh, that's so nice. Stephano, known from his romp and tear back in 2012, 13, where he was the absolute master, the non-Korean master of StarCraft. This guy won, God, I'd have to check that out. $300,000 in prize money alone, and he got some of that mad EG money. So I don't know how much money he's on right now, but a fair bit. Then he retired. He's in school right now, but school's on summer break. So yeah, Stephano's coming back, seeing what prize money can be found. And this is his appearance in Dreamhack Valencia, where he did go through the qualifier, so he's not just an old hand, and he is getting fairly old now. He does still have the skill required to get through the qualifiers. Anyway, Frost Ladder Edition with cross positions. That is very nice for our Zerg. The added distance and the possibility of all the different attack paths that cross positions brings you. We've got fairly economic openings for both, and this is the kind of map you can put that on as well. You know, four player map, and yeah, so people can generally take it easy in the early part of the game, and then, you know, get that full-on aggression later on. We've got a Twilight Council with resonating glaives coming in for Puck, so he's looking to put on some adapt pressure. Needs a couple more gates if that's going to be as brutal as it can be, and he will build those in his wall. On the other side of the map, Stephano is just, you know, sort of building up his stuff as well. He's got, you know, fairly decent map coverage, so he knows if anything is coming his way. If there was a warp prism going in, you know, it would have to go by here or here. It would most likely be seen. So Stephano knows he's fairly safe. Scouts the wall, and there is that warp prism that is going to work with that adept pressure. Fairly even work account. Well, I talked a bit about Stephano because he is, of course, the guy that, you know, was such a magnificent player back in the day, and a bit of a legend, of course. But Puck's no slouch either. One of the good North American Protoss players. He's not the Neeb that everybody has such high hope for in this tournament, but he is not to be trifled with nonetheless. And Puck is moving out with that War Prison. I want to see what he's going to get. Doesn't have that giant massive gateways yet, so he can't just, you know, flood with eight adepts at a time. Only getting 3. And yep, no, these queens are not going to get there in time to prevent this warp in or this transfer. But there are zerglings there, there are banelings there, and there's a queen that will slowly chip away at this warp prison. Oh, and yep, pushes that away quite nicely. Getting a roach warren. Stephano quite happy to just zergling it up the entire time, but will take a roach warren if he needs to. As the third base of Puck is now down or completely warped in. We can start on maybe building a little bit more army. Here are the rest of the gateways. A forge for his first upgrades. And here is the little bit of a move out. So Stephano getting enough of a heads up there that he can start pumping out his own army, as he does put down his 4th base. And with these extra roaches and these Zerglings and these banelings, oh, he's actually going to split a couple off for a counterattack. He's hoping he has enough to ward this off. A little bit coming in from over here, and he's not going to be able to get anything really done with that. Gets 2 drones for the cost of an adept. And the rest of that army, well, strike force, little bunch of stuff, is just sitting there, not moving out yet. Puck does not feel like he's got the army supply to do so, and indeed he doesn't. Oh, and yep, once again, pushes back that little poke. He's going to lose his scouting Zergling though. Stephano working on a little bit of creep spread, and in the meantime, Puck is getting a second Robo Bay and, oh sorry, a Robo Facility, sorry, and a Robo Bay. And getting his first attack upgrade, whereas Stephano is already working on 2-1 and Baneling speed, which is going to be very nice against any Zealot and or Adept base play. And yeah, double Disruptor. Now, double Disruptor very good against roaches and that sort of thing, but Zerglings tend to be just fast enough to just get away from those. So I'm wondering whether this is going to be as effective as it would be against the army we usually see against Protoss, which is the Roach Ravager, maybe Hydralisk Lurker, definitely Lurker. See a lot of Lurker play. And getting for a hive, so let's see whether Stephano gets the time and resources to get into Ultralisks. Now, with nothing that really shoots up, there's nothing that can, unless Puck decides to just derp around and leave this hanging around there, there's no way that Stephano should really do anything with that. But we got a engagement right here. There is that first disruptor shot, but doesn't make it to the back line. Second disruptor shot, much better than that though. And the Zerglings do get a very nice round, taking down quite a bit of the army, but the Stalkers do manage to blink back into safety. All the Immortals are down, however. This Disruptor getting away with 5 hit points. That is a very lucky little Disruptor. And loses 15 probes. Oh, little run by over here. That was that group over here that did that run by for those 15 probe kills. But now his main army is in there as well. Takes out a bunch of probes. Takes out whatever army was there defending with the cannon. And now those Zerglings have nothing in that middle line to stop them from horribly murdering those probes. And with now 22 drones, probes dead, and quite a few of them lower down in shields, but those will regenerate. Stephano is forced back. And where did that War Prism go? Well, it went in there and then got shooed away. So, it worked too well. Stephano preparing another run by. 2 runs by at the same time. And he does manage to upload those 4 adepts, and now that War Prism does go down, so those adepts are dedicated and try and get whatever drone kills you're going to get, Puck, because you're not going to get much more after that. And yeah, shaded out but completely surrounded by the Zerglings of Stephano as he does move in here, and the second group is lost to me. 203 Zerglings dedicated to the cause. Well, that may not be terribly cost efficient, but he's got 4 mining bases. He's doing very well. Well, there's one run by. Is he going to go for the second one? Oh, look at that wall in. Puck getting wise to the ways of Stephano with his Zergling run bys. And they're only going to get worse as Adrenal Gland is almost all the way done. Oh, it would have been very nice if you managed to put that into place. And there is that problem with Disruptors versus Zerglings. They're just too fast. Oh, that could be a very nice shot. Yes, he does get it off. Oh, that is all the Disruptors down. Also all the army for Stephano down, however. So, managing to stay in there. So we've got a little bit of mining here. We've got 25 workers down. Bloody hell. How much is in a total? 49 workers killed. Damn. So yeah, Puck. Well, he's not in dire straits in economy, so he's very good at reproducing those workers. So we've got Ultralisks on the way, and to counteract them we have Archons. We have Archons, and has Puck switched back into Immortals? Not at this moment. And there's another run by right there. You get caught by an overcharge, and over here there is the army, so Stephano doesn't want to stay there. These Zerglings are going to get eaten up by that overcharged pylon, but here they make it into the main base for another bunch of drone kills. Probe kills even, but these... Oh, that's a nice move, hold position micro, but does still in the end get a couple of probes. Stephano very good on the economic harass. Let's see how far we actually did make it. 72 workers killed. You cruel, cruel Frenchman. Oh. Another base up and another base up, so if he transfers his probe there, he'll be able to just get along fine there. We're getting Zerg Carapace level 3, but did we get... Yes, we did. Chitinous Blading, so those Ultralisks will be quite beefy. Will be quite hard to kill. It's interesting. Let's see how much damage does one of these do. 145 and additional 55 shield damage, so just 145, so you're going to need, what is that, 3 and a bit hits on an Ultralisk to kill one. But you don't want to derp around there with just 3 Ultralisk. And there is another run by here, and there's another run by over here as he even poses with his main army. There goes that overcharge, leaving those Zerglings free reign. And yeah, that was 2 full hits on that Ultralisk, and he just got transfused back up. Now, Queens died to that, so GG Stephano. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this match. The round of 32 in Dreamhack Valencia between this guy over here. He plays the Protoss race. He is from somewhere in North America. Probably America, maybe Canada. I'm not entirely sure. It's Puck. Not just Puck, but Puck. And over on this side, we have, playing for Meltdown, the Frenchman. It's Stephano. Look at that Meltdown, your local esports bar, which isn't anywhere local to me, unfortunately. We are playing on a new map and we have Stephano going for some early aggression right here. While I was busy introducing his opponent, he's like, yeah, I'll take an extractor, I'll take a spawning pool, and I will put some Zerglings in my opponent's base as soon as possible. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether Puck suspects this, but Puck is going for an early scout. He's getting a fairly conservative opening. He can just wall this off in its completion and be entirely safe against this. This is not even just a hatch or a spawning pool first. This is a very early spawning pool, so this means aggression on the side of Stephano. Puck just coming in, making sure that that speed has been done. Maybe going to stick around to see whether he plans this to put down a baneling nest, although I think he was in range of this thing and was able to count just how much gas had been lost. And using an extractor trick, making sure... Which way are we going? Are we going down or are we going up, Stephano? Just making sure he can get that extra little bit of... Oh, yep. Making sure to delay his opponent with that pylon block. Very nice, forcing Stephano to move around. And Puck getting that second nexus. Alright, well, he's got his zealot in place, so I don't see why not, but he doesn't have a mothership core yet to overcharge this, so he can't defend this nexus. Getting adepts to fire from behind, well, not what his current position says, but from behind his zealot. And let's see what these zealots are going to achieve. Now, this will require a little bit of dancing on both the players on both sides. And where did that mothership core come out? It came out over here. Is he going to get it overcharged off? No, he decides not to overcharge it. And Stephano moves back. You're like, just making sure that those pylons do get taken down. And this is a good move by Puck, because this limits the surface area the Zerglings do have on that pylon, and it will live significantly longer. And with that, I think Stephano's aggression has come to an end, as this is pretty much secure. And what are any other indicators of Stephano's aggression having come to an end? Well, this is one. This is another one. So there was some early Zerglings, but Stephano is in full drone mode now. 32 versus 22. That's about to be 24. But Stephano continues with the droning and making sure to keep his Zerglings there just to threaten Puck. Alright, so with the early aggression out, I suppose we can talk a little bit about this map, except for the fact that it's new and I don't know a great deal about it. No, you can't move in that side. Puck's wall building is sufficient. So what we've already seen, well, we've seen this. So we have this little hallway, which is a single space, or it's two hexes, so you can wall it off with either a supply depot, or if you're, Protoss, with a single pylon. And if you don't do that, you're going to have to move all the way around here. So there's rocks here, so you can't even do that. And he's going to make it into the middle line, but that's going to get himself entirely surrounded and horribly killed. Gets 2 drones, 42 adepts. That's not the best trade. Baneling nest being put down, and in response we have a Robo Bay over here. And Stephano goes on in, make sure that he sees, well, everything. This one does get shooed away, but between the two of them he does have a complete overview of what his opponent is up to. Now, of course, if there was something down here, and this very much depends on Stephano's math skills if he sees this. Oh, and this could be a very nice round. Is he going to get... No, you're going for the probe? Okay. Getting the probe does delay that third, but those were some juicy centuries right there. That is 400 gas right there. So let's see what he's going to do this time. Nope. Doesn't even get the probe this time. We've got a War Prism moving in, and these are tricky little bits of terrain because these do block air. And I have had my own units, and not just me, I would like to say that pros do this as well, derp around over here as they sort of just move command through it. And what does Stephano have to greet these adepts? Well, he's got some roaches, he's got a queen, and doesn't really get anything done other than pushes some drones off mining before this war prism is pushed away. The queen range, which was buffed in this last patch, does help with that. As it's just the one range increase, but really does help against airborne threats so much. Puck goes in on the scout. We've got a Phoenix hallucinated over there and an observer over here, just making sure there's no shenanigans. So he does spot this base, but he doesn't see the other side. He doesn't see the fourth base being taken by Stephano. He sees everything here, including the 2 evolution chambers and the roach warren right there. And here's another pylon that gets taken down by a couple of roving Zerglings. Stephano very on top of his map awareness and moves in over here. Oh, no, not just the only one that's map aware, as 2 banelings splash on into a stalker. But Stephano can try this trick again. 2 more Zerglings right here, ready to do that. As Puck once again walls this off, but Stephano is entirely aware of this. Slowly spreading creep in this hallway, as well as more to the main sort of map area. As Puck once again gets spotted with his war prism and can't do anything without being noticed. Not much use moving in with this entire army moving along with you. And even Queensel coming along to scare this off. And oh, I missed a great little baneling move in, and I'm not the only one. So did Puck, as 12 probes do go down due to 2 banelings right here. They must have just waddled in over here, distracting his opponent by threatening his war prism and moving those banelings in. A very nice move right there. And once again, staying on a lot of Zerglings. We've got 67 Zerglings on the map. We've lost 15. That's a fair bit fewer than last game. And that war prism does get shoot off again. Despite the loss of those probes, there's nothing wrong with Puck's economy, and while all of this is going on, he's just getting a fairly nice army. Continues pumping immortals, gets his resonating glaives. That is a very tough work, and a side storm. Whereas in turn, how does Stephano counter? Well, he's getting his upgrades. He's getting a pneumatized carapace, and he's getting a hive. What is the pneumatized carapace for? Well, he may decide to do some drops. That might be over here while the army is engaged, or he may choose to build a whole bunch of banelings and drop them on the army. It's a bit of a stylistic choice, and up to the specific circumstances what Stephano may decide to go with. Getting his, what is that, 5th base now, and it's interesting to see that both players decide to go for their side of the map for their expansions. Could choose this one, but with those rocks being able to be, or you know, with the ability to remove these rocks right here, I suppose that would make for quite an open area to defend right here. And you can cut people off. If you position your army here, then they can defend this area or this area, but they can't do both. And look at all these bloody Zerglings, and there is a very nice storm, as Stephano says, you know what, maybe you shouldn't do that. 3 photon overcharges, but Stephano's got Zerglings for days, and he doesn't mind dedicating a couple to the cause as he does move out. 2 more adepts and another overcharge right there, as the last adept in that war prison does finally go down, and here Puck is finally able to take that 4th base. And what does Stephano do? Stephano moves into the natural, where there's another support with no Foden overcharge. So that is just fine. In the meantime, distracting his army Puck's army right there, making sure that they can't reinforce, but the defense here was enough to shoot Stephano away. Once again, getting that chitinous plating, getting adrenal glands. And what is Puck doing in response? Well, he's taking a page out of the Protoss book of bullshit with a Dark Shrine. And as a Protoss player myself, may I just say that I mean that with the utmost respect. The Protoss base, the honorable Protoss book of Protoss fucking bullshit. Stephano dedicating a couple of Zerglings to the cause to cancel this base, and it does get cancelled. At the same time, moving in over here, but this is does manage to go in there right now with no adepts there. For an adept warping, do make sure that there's no further run-bys there. And yeah, Stephano just pulling all the different ways on Puck. Now he's not really pulling him apart. Does manage to save that Nexus this time with a number of force fields. But yeah, Stephano's got the money to invest in these early, just keep doing this over and over again. Whereas Puck, well, if he gets this up, then he'll be able to move on for a bit. But yeah, this base is slowly mining out, whereas this base, well, yeah, it's not great. And yeah, that's where that pneumatized carapace does come into play with a large number of Zerglings that's going to get dropped in that main base. And I wonder if that's going to get spotted by Puck, or if it does, whether Puck is going to be paying attention, because Stephano is also moving in over here to distract, and those cannons do really help out, but those are cracklings. Well, yep, lots of Zerglings over there, and they may not fare too well versus cannons and or Archons, but those Ultralisks that Stephano had over there most certainly do. And here is the drop in the main base, and Zerglings with 3-3 upgrades, well, 3-2, and Adrenal Glands do make an absolute mess of a base. But with no detection, well, soon to be some detection, Puck just morphs in a couple of DTs to deal with that, and here is the main engagement. We have a lot is the correct number of these Ultralisks just not dying. We have a large number of stuff here. When they get stormed on, they get immortaled upon, and it doesn't matter. They just keep coming, and DTs over here gets cleaned up, and over here there's no amount of taking that is going to save you over here. The army of Puck completely decimated, as well as his entire economy in tatters, and GG. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this round of 32 match in Dreamhack Valencia. I stole this entirely from the actual Dream app, so there is an official VOD of this. If you'd like to see professionals cast that, I put the link in the description. But for now, we have over on this side of Galactic Process Ladder Edition, also referred to as the new... oh balls, I forgot the name of that map. Well, there we go. It's Millennium Meltdown, Stephano. That is entirely right. I didn't fuck that up in the least bit. Stephano, bit of a cheek. Over on this side, we have representing North America from somewhere. We have Puck. So yeah, we've got Stephano with a 2-0 score. And Puck, yeah, Puck, very confident. It's like, yeah, I need a good kick in the balls before I can really get going. And yeah, Stephano's giving him just that. 2-0 for Stephano, so I fully expect Puck to live up to this and just completely ruffle stomp Stephano from this point. Now, Galactic Process does look in layout very similar to a map we used to see in Heart of the Swarm, although certain things are new, such as this. The specific positioning about this natural base and this ramp, for instance, are a little bit different. And most importantly, it doesn't matter where you look, there's no Space Shark. There's no Space Shark. We have a little bit of a more conservative opening after that last game for Stephano, as he does not rush to a spawning tool and a Zergling speed, and does actually take a hatchery first. Puck, for his side, also deciding to go with the fairly standard, early expand. And with double gas is going to go into both Warp Gate and Adept, but not getting an early Mothership Core. So if there were, with the Scout, I don't suppose he really does need to see it. Decides he doesn't need the early Mothership Core, goes for the Twilight Council first. We'll see whether he's going what he's going to do. He's been a big fan of the Adapt upgrade, Resonating Glaives, and I expect it's going to be for that, but who knows. This right here does have a little bit of an opportunity to be abused for Blinkstalkers. But no, it is Resonating Glaives, so there you go. Stephano with the third base on the way, and there's some... This being a new map, there is a little bit of discussion on how best to wall this off. For one thing, what's very important is this is not the only entrance into this base. So yeah, you can wall this off, and Puck is doing this right now, but this is also going to be used. Now this is an even smaller opening than over here, so you can just put a pylon and a gateway there and it's fine. But this wall, some people use it, other people decide to wall in over here. And that's just a matter of preference. Getting that Robo out again for that War Prison, but also going to take a very early third at 4 minutes. Very safe with this. These rocks are not going to be down due to Zergling unless your opponent really dedicates to it, and the Puck did scout that he wasn't going for that early of an aggression. So with this wall in place, and pretty soon I'm assuming he's going to do this. I'm assuming he has played this map before and he knows this is here, because that would be really bad. That third base is quite a safe one to take early. 5 Adepts. Going to take that vision. And maybe going to try and pressure a little bit. Stephano getting his Roachworn in response to these Adepts. And we do get Blink and a Warp Prison. So I'd be interested to see if he does decide to go for something like that. Again with the melee upgrades, Stephano very happy with the Zergling style, and well, he is up 2-0, so it has been shown to work. 4 Adepts in there, but he's going to get scouted by this Overlord, so Stephano should know just what's up. He does move a number of those Zerglings back, and even has a Queen in place to start chipping away at those shields. Wall over here still isn't there, and Stephano hasn't put any of his Zerglings out there yet. So I wonder if it's not just Puck not knowing that that's there, but Stephano not knowing that's there, which might be a little bit sloppy. Checking to see whether those rocks have been taken out. Now that that smoke right here means that it is actually quite hard to see. You can't just put a pylon here and see them being broken down. You have to actually physically move against it, as Puck is doing right here, to see whether those are being taken care of. And with Stephano's style in the last 2 games, I fully expect him to actually take down these walls over here, as he does actually shift click his army over there, because he has been so countering that strongly. There you go, Puck seeing that being taken down and going to put his 2 pylons in place to overcharge for the inevitable Zergling flood, and in the same time putting a number of banelings in here. Oh, didn't actually do that in time. Not going to be able to follow up with his Zerglings, and these adepts, banelings even, do get... Oh no, and he doesn't have that on hold position, so he does actually make it through that gap. But doesn't make it into the middle line. Instead going in over in this gap over here, taking down quite a few Zerglings, and he's now in the natural middle line, and he has made sure that this 3rd middle line has been evacuated as well, relocating his probes into the... Oh, and this could be some very nice bailing hits. Yes, they are. Oh no, and he moved his Zerglings or his probes back into the mineral line, so Stephano can't fight that without the aid of the pylon overcharge for Puck. And yeah, 17 workers killed versus, well, 79 Zerglings, and Stephano is doing just fine in income, so can replenish that, and is replenishing that right now with 15 banelings. Ooh, that is a large number of banelings. Getting 2-2 as well, whereas Puck hasn't so much as started. Is... Oh, and no, this little run by gets countered quite well. All these adepts very low, lost a lot of their shields, but if you don't kill Protoss, they are a little bit like, you know, there's that hallway. There's that hallway. Moving into this instead. No, doesn't manage to get it into the main base of Puck. He's going to make it over here, but that's not going to last very long. No. And let's see if Puck now actually walls this off. No, he's going to go over here and clear up a little bit of creep. Nice creep threat by Stephano, by the way. And what do we have here to receive this? Well, we have a number of Zerglings and a large number of banelings who are about to roll in, and there isn't any force fields left, and that means that everything light just melts. We still do have 2 Archons, excuse me, we have 1 Archon, excuse me, yet again, we have no Archons whatsoever, which means that the brunt of this army are these 2 Immortals, who we're going to very soon be down to 1. And as soon as that is done, pretty much the entire army of Puck is gone. Nope. And while all of this is going on, we have an Ultralisk Cavern coming in. The army of Puck is gone. The army of Stephano is gone. So that's, good enough news, I suppose, if you're Puck. But Stephano is just about to start putting in some Ultralisks. And here's another one of those run-bys. Getting another one. Just the one probe. And maybe warping in Adept. Nope. And now he finally rolls that out. Are these 2 enough? I've used a single pylon and... Oh, well. Oh, no! No, that's actually... Wait. Yep, no, that's... you can actually make it through there. Alright, well, that's... maybe he'll put a cannon there, I don't know. Puck also getting a 4th base. Yep. Puck is again, but these Bailings putting in work and moving into the natural middle line. Oh, that is a massacre. 17, 19 probes having gone down. as Stephano moves over right onto the Adepts, and normally Adepts are fairly good against Zerglings, but if you surround them, they're up and upgraded. Well, they present quite a challenge. And these Zerglings aren't dead yet. We're continuing getting probes. 22 probes now, 23 probes. But he did get up this base. With 43 workers, I'm not sure what he's going to do with it, but he did get it up. And there's not a bad army for Puck to move out either, with 4 Archons, 2 Immortals. Well, because the Zerglings are good, I mean, don't get me wrong, but well, if you can get these Banelings on there, and how many Banelings do we have? 26 Banelings. That's a number of Banelings. You're not really, that's going to melt. Zerglings on its own would have a great deal of issue with this army. But with the Banelings in play, and pretty soon the Ultralisks, as we have our first Ultralisk on the field, maybe get a nice round. Oh dear. Another 24 Banelings, and we've had 26, so that's going to be 50 Banelings. And there's another run by over here, there's another run by over here. No, that's not just a Zergling run by, those are Banelings. That's going to completely eviscerate these probes. Over here, nothing much did happen, but this base is going to go down, and you may not want to use Banelings on that. As Puck is going for the base rate over here, taking down a base for a base. And oh no, you don't want to move in there, you don't want to move in there. Oh, Banelings do actually completely thrash that army. There's a little bit of it left, but as soon as those 4 Ultralisks and 10 Zerglings do come out, that army is just going to be absolutely gone, as Stephano leaves 2 Zerglings to clean up this paltry Nexus. Oh, if he can get these Banelings before they move in, that would be good. But here come actual units to contend with that, and the remaining Banelings do finish. Not really getting fantastic connections, but you don't really have to, because there's an additional 4 Ultralisks ready to chew this up. And GG, you played it very well. Good luck. So Stephano moves on to the round of 16. If you enjoyed this video, press that like button. If you'd like to see more of me, subscribe.